Okay. Great. Thank you, Al. January 14th, 2019. This is actually coaching session number 2 for the new year. And we have just been in the conversation of gaining some clarity. The number one thing I've learned over the past week from Al was, and let's just wrap it into some succinctness. What would you say your number one thing that you've learned from this past week has been?
Getting a new prospect to do or go on to the next step. And what I learned is I need to have better communication and listening skills to better focus on that person's needs versus drifting off from that. Staying focused.
And part of that is in knowing what you're offering. The only reason that you don't stay focused is because you aren't clear yourself about what you offer. So when you're clear, and let's just be clear, I think you've got something fabulous here in your leadership coaching program. Mm-hmm. And leadership development is something that, you know, people can say, yes, I can get into that. Mm-hmm. Especially if it's around building their own multi-level marketing business. Mm-hmm. And growing their team. Mm-hmm. And if they're doing something that they can actually see that growing their leadership skills is going to be of advantage to them. Mm-hmm. And so we were talking about the potential person. I think this is an excellent example, who expressed to you, and help me out if I'm getting off here, but expressed to you that they have a photography business. Yes. And do social media marketing using Instagram. Mm-hmm. They actually manage clients versus teaching it right now, but is teaching it something that they said that they might want to do?
It was something that was brought up, and there seemed to be but that's something that I need to go back and ask to get clarity, clarity to make sure that I understand. So it goes back to what you're saying. I need to improve my communication skills and listening skills so that I can start writing down what it is that they want and just stay focused. That's my package, is staying focused on what they want.
What they want, and if what they want fits with what you're offering. Mm. So there's got to be that connection too. What they want is one thing, and that's really important. And what they want may or may not fit in what it is that you're offering. When I first started coaching, I was thinking I can coach everybody. I've got, I can do it for everybody.
Right.
And I soon came to understand that there were certain things that were outside of my purview and or that I did not want to coach in. Mm. And so that said to me, I need to be clear about what it is that I want to do, what it is that I say I'm doing. And as long as I can bring that umbrella into the flow of my conversation, I can be clear about who I am, what I'm doing, what I'm offering, how I can help, and people will get that. Otherwise, they won't. And a confused mind does nothing but back away.
Yeah, that's part of what was going on. So, okay, well, that was.
Let me offer 2 things to help you as you prepare for any conversation like this. The first is having your list of questions, and we'll call them like get to know you questions.
Okay.
And we talked about this and getting a list of questions together for you. Get to know you questions. And I always ask these questions in the context of, for me, it's a rapid results discovery session. Because I know that after talking to me, people that I talk to will have at least 1 to 2 actionable steps that they can take to start growing their business, even if they choose to work with me or not. Okay, so leadership, and we're talking about the Leadership Leverage Program, $97 a month, not expensive. We're talking about leadership development that's going to help you to get focused, get clear in your own messaging. And, you know, if it's around my econ, you're going to be there to help them to learn the wealth building strategies from my econ and how they might share the information. That may be for some people and it may not be for some people. And what I learned the hard way was it's okay however it is. And people will let me know. I used to feel so bad, dejected, rejected when somebody would say, no, I don't think so. And the main reason initially was because they were confused. And then after that, they saw the value in what I was offering, but it wasn't for them. And the third thing was, it just wasn't the right time for them. And they wanted it for free. And I was like, no, you're not getting it for free. So it wasn't the right time for them. And what I ended up doing was developing my free group. And I was like, you can join the free membership, and you can go out to Facebook, be a part of the free group. I share a lot of information in the free group. And that is something that you can offer to those people who are signing up under you, whether they're on your team or not. They're signing up under you. You've got a lot of great leadership tools that you can share with them and will be sharing with them over time. But that is the least amount that they can spend their own time to kind of stay connected with you, to work with you. And if they're a my econ customer, your team is going to be able to share information that will help support them. And if they're not, then they'll still get a lot of benefit from leadership development conversations that will go on in that free group or that free page, you know, being connected on that page. So that brings me to something too. Okay, get to know you questions. The second thing that you want to have in front of you for every conversation is what you offer in the Leadership Leverage coaching program. Not so much to present to who it is you're talking to, but to remind yourself to come back to that. You know, I'm going to be doing video podcasting, and you can participate in that. As one of my coaching clients, I'm going to be interviewing you. We're going to have conversations on leadership and mindset, strategy, what works, what doesn't work. And this is still in this frame of it's all about them. The only thing that you have that's available to them is a My Econ product and your leadership development coaching.
Yeah.
And if it makes sense, you got a legal shield. But, and it always starts with the product. Building a team may sometimes not even come into your conversation. And I don't know if you've ever thought about that, because one of the things that we in the direct marketing business, direct sales business, the multi-level marketing business, don't often get taught is, if it's about the customer, let it be about the customer. And not every customer is built to do the business. And so the front end of every conversation is about being the customer.
Yes.
And remember, we talked about the core story and the customer experience and all of that that is focused on the person that you're talking to. Subsequent to that, the question comes up, is there, if you're interested in multiple streams of income, this could perhaps help you there too, because there is an opportunity. If you're sharing about what you're learning from the things that you're being taught in the educational program, and somebody says, "Oh my God, what are you doing? I need to learn some of that. That was a great suggestion." Then you just say, "My econ, talk to Al. Let Al know that you sent somebody their way." It's always going to start again from the customer perspective. And the customer is always a customer before they're part of your team. And I know that there's a lot of emphasis on build your team, build your team, build your team. But when you lead with building your team conversation, you're going to lose customers. Because they're going to say, that's all he wants. And honestly, they're also going to say that's not really the sign of a good leader, because a good leader will know that I'm the one that's important here as the customer. You get the customer side right, and then you can bring me in closer.
Okay. All right. That's, again, that's something that I see you have to learn that and be sensitive to that. And it's like learning how to ride a bike.
Yep.
So right now I have training wheels.
And you know what? That's okay, because you're learning the right way. One of the things that honestly was a hindrance to me getting into network marketing was I had been through Sandler sales training. I had been through real estate sales training. I had been through, product and program sales trainings. And now I'm looking at sales in a whole different way, because first of all, sales didn't really sit with me either when it came to network marketing.
Yeah.
Because I did feel like that, used car salesman just pushing something on somebody.
Right.
And I was like, but that's not the sales world that I want to be in. And commercial real estate taught me the sales market and marketing conversation that I wanted to be in, because it was about relationship first. You need to know who you're talking to, what you're talking about, why you want to help them, because you see they need help. They've expressed to you what they need help with. Financial education is the beginning of it all. And to say, I totally invite you to look at my econ for the financial education that you can get. That is going to be the foundation of your wealth building. And then if you decide at some point you want to share it and, get paid for your referrals, you can do that. As a member, you don't have to do anything else. You're already set up to do that. And so, don't think about that, especially somebody that said, I don't want to do multi-level marketing. And just tell them, don't think about that on the front end. Think about getting your wealth building education. And, if you're looking for coaching, leadership coaching to help, build your business and maybe even to market your social media skills into this new group of entrepreneurs who are looking for something like this, here's where I can help you.
I want to go through this until you're done, but I want to go back to what you said, get to know you questions. And what I'm trying to, can you suggest questions that I need to ask up front?
You know what, I'm going to
Because that is very, yeah. So yeah.
I'm going to send you, maybe I'll even tweak a version of my discovery session, because they're discovery questions.
Yeah.
And we'll even get you to the point where you're thinking your conversation with anybody new is all about discovery.
Yeah, because I can see that would also provide me with a general idea as to the questions that maybe I haven't been asking that I need to ask.
Yeah, okay.
And it's interesting you said that we're talking about this, because I have a second person um, who definitely wants to be coached, and they've been extremely open, and I need to get some clarity on the leadership training, and I'm going to be talking to them tonight, and they're ready to get back. She was working. Her job pulled her away for a couple of weeks, job requirements, and now she's ready to go and get started again. So we're making some plans. We're going to be talking tonight at 8:00. So this is something else that I could utilize for this evening, because she told me more than once that she's ready to go. And, so, okay. I need those questions. I need those questions bad.
Okay. All right. Yes. So the get to know you questions, the discovery session questions will help you to get to know who it is you're talking about, because it is about rapport, establishing rapport, which is the beginning of relationship. If these people are going to be on your team and part of your coaching, this is a key thing to, and I don't even want to say get right, but get connected to. Okay? So your discovery,
get connected to what?
Your discovery session allows you the ability to find out about this person so that you can get connected to them by your responses. And the second part of that is the responses. So there's a formula there too in understanding the problem, and you get to understand the problem by understanding who it is you're talking to. The establishing rapport is actually the space of empathy. I totally get it. I understand what you're talking about, and I think that you're going to be really happy with what I have to share with you. Not only is my econ something that's going to help you, my leadership development coaching, I think, will help you as well. And here's how. I do leadership development. We actually train on a leadership development curriculum. And, as we're thinking about this, we're actually flying seat of the pants, because do you have a leadership development curriculum? Not yet.
Well, the thing that I have right now is the skills assessment. What are your strengths? We talked about that. That was the last piece. That's the only piece that I have right now.
Okay.
I think in our last conversation, we were going to come up with, what is it that you need to be talking to people about? So that was part of today's,
Meeting, correct.
Thing. But
okay. And so again, going back to that problem solution. The solution is with my econ, you're going to get the financial education to help you build wealth. And the leadership development coaching that I provide will give you the opportunity to grow yourself while you're also growing my econ business, if that's what you want to do. And for somebody like the photographer, you'd be grow your education, your wealth building education, and you could actually grow your business, your photography business, your social media business by tapping into some of the things that I teach that you would be exposed to as part of the My Econ community.
Okay.
And then you can talk about, you know, in the leadership leverage program, we do accountability. We actually look at the numbers. How many units do you have to sell in order to basically earn the kind of income that you want to earn? But we look at, what do you want to earn first? What do you want to do? And then we actually go through the mindset piece, you know, strategy versus selling. Enrollment versus a sales conversation. And then the influencer. In this leadership development program, teach you how to be the influencer. You know, not blow a bunch of bullshit, but actually influence people to making the best decision for themselves. And there is a way to do that sometimes means that they don't do the coaching with you. And that's okay too, because they understand you. They know your level of integrity. And what they end up doing is say, hey, I met this guy, Al. I'm part of the My Econ family. I'm learning this wealth building education, but he does leadership development coaching for people who want to build this business. And if you want to get in, you can get in. I'll refer you and work with Al, because he's going to help you grow your business. Not for me. It's not for me. That's not what I want to do. But, and that is where you've created what the industry calls a raving fan, because they didn't feel badgered to do anything that was outside of their perspective for themselves. And you supported them in that. And then I've had people who doing that with came back a year later and said, you know what? I've done this enough, or I've learned enough where I really think I'm ready to do this as a business. Bring in a little income for myself. Well, great, come on, let's do it. And that keeps the door open for them to come back, for them to refer people. And depending on their business, what their business is, you may be able to refer people to them. That always sets up for a good relationship. And then the whole video podcasting. I really think that by the end of March, you're going to have your own video podcasting show.
I received that.
Yeah. And you know what would be nice? Call it leadership leverage. How leaders leverage themselves and their businesses to grow and to help others, or something to that nature. But leadership, welcome to the Leadership Leverage Show. Leveraging your leadership and genius to help others.
Yeah, genius. I like that. Yeah. Okay. Did you want to go over
the other things? Yes.
The goals, and I just wanted to get at least the ones that we talked about last week, and then I have ones. No, we haven't even established the ones for this week yet. But the number one thing that we had talked about is getting back the Legal Shield forms, the signed forms. We did that Wednesday. The second thing you asked me, the second goal or the second item was what is my goal to become platinum in 30 days? And the thing was, I looked, and right now I have less than 20 because I had a couple more, but I would say I have about 20, and I need 56. And I have 20 right now. And my goal for last week, for each week, is to bring on 2 or 3, each week.
In 30 days, 2 or 3 won't get you.
Well, if I have 2 or 3, and I find 2 or 3 a week.
3, 6, we're 30 days started when?
Last week.
So let's say started January 7th.
Yeah.
So 7, 14, 21, 28, 30. So we're talking February 7th.
Mm-hmm. So if I can bring in 3 a week, let's see here.
3, 6, 9. That's only like 12.
Okay. But out of those 12, if I'm able to get referrals or find someone that wants to build a team, go to the next level. EVP. When you come on to the team, you're a marketing director. So the suggestion is, if you're interested in making some money or just referrals in general, if there's 3 people that we can bring on board, 2 people, then you become executive vice president. And if you do refer someone, you get paid more money. That would be the wisest thing to do if you're looking at that. So if we had...
And your 3 by 3 by 3 strategy works.
Yeah.
Every person focuses on 3.
3. And then someone in that group is going to want to go and do more than that. And right now they've changed the structure where you can go gold with 7 versus 10. And so if I can find 1 or 2 people out of that group, even one that wants to do, the 7, then I'm pretty much there. Then if I'm looking at the team that I have right now, the young lady that I'm going to be speaking to tonight, which I've mentioned her to you, she was, and you couldn't make it to that meeting. It was a couple, but I'm going to talk to her tonight and work with her to get her to EVP goal. She's probably about 2 or 3 away from that, but so she's about the only one, and then there may be some new ones to come on board. But my point is to get 2 or 3 a week and see where I stand after that. But that will again have me positioned as to however I'm short, I will be closer to being able to accomplish that in a very short period of time after that.
Okay.
Does that am I saying that?
It does, except that I think that you're undershooting. Or maybe, okay, here's what it is. You're saying, and you're getting 3, but then we talked about you had to talk to 10 in order to get 1. Mm-hmm. So that means you're talking to at least 30.
That's correct. Okay. Yeah, let me, okay. Mm-hmm.
So that's actually your exposures versus your closings or your enrollments. Exposures versus enrollment. So out of your 30 exposures, you're figuring 12, but 12, yeah, so you're talking really about 36.
Per week?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, to come up with two or three, per
1,
week.
2, 3, 4. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the goal, the way I'm looking at doing that is I need to go to more networking events on a weekly basis. I have one tomorrow that I'm going to. Um, and then with what I'm doing on social media, I need to be, posting, getting engagements, people engaged and liking, and so I need to do that. So, but I may need to be looking at both. Now, for example, when we had the thing at the Nitro Zone, I got about six or seven names. One of them that's the one I said, he said he was going to register. The other one's a young lady that I met with today. Um, there was another gentleman, he was interested, but really he was a college student. I didn't realize that. His name was Yahweh. And I didn't realize he was a college student until I talked with him. But he wants to still continue. He's a junior, and he very much likes, so I probably got about 3 or 4 out of that group that I was able to follow up with. So, but my point is that I have to be doing some offline contacting as well. So I may need to be out and about a little bit more and meeting and greeting people as well as doing stuff online. So I really got to ramp up my schedule to do these things, to be able to spread myself out, to be able to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the areas that also is I'm doing the financial literacy presentations in colleges. And so that's another, I'm working on getting that ramped up starting next month. But so number one I have to do is network events at least once a week, maybe 2 if I can seek to, 1 to 2 per week.
Yeah, it's probably going to be more like 2 a week.
Mm-hmm.
And remember what we talked about as far as the networking group meetings. It's not really the time to try to have an enrollment conversation. It's really about making the connection and setting up for the next thing. Understanding, what other people do and having them understand what you do, and not even so much understanding it, just piquing interest to say, do you want to have a virtual cup of coffee one day this week? What's your schedule look like for tomorrow or Thursday or Friday or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I love to meet with people one-on-one, face-to-face.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to be honest with you, back in the day, that's all I did. And it was, of course, very time consuming.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then there are a lot of people who really, okay, so the agenda is the same for everyone. They want you to get to know who they are and what they're doing, because they probably could sell you whatever it is that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing on your part. Only you're going to be the one to flip the script. Mm-hmm. And shuffle things up, because you're going to be asking who they are, what they do, if they're interested in wealth building, how are they doing it now? Is it being effective for them? Because with what my econ offers, it may be a great option for them. Mm-hmm. And then, you end up showing each other what it is that you do. And I have had, in conversations like that where I've done it right, people have said, you know what, I need that. I need to know that. And for the enrollment fee, mm-hmm. It was like a no-brainer. But So here's the one thing that I think you're going to run into as an objective, and I want you to be prepared about that. And we'll talk about overcoming objections. And if your guys are smart, they've gotten together a list of objections and some of the things that you can say to overcome some of those objections. But if not, that's okay. We're going to work that out anyway. Because with your conversation about the wealth in education, as well as the leadership development coaching, you're going to have to be prepared to overcome some objections.
Oh, yeah. Can you hold that thought for one moment?
Okay.
One moment.
Okay. Hola. How you be? Good. Yes, sir. Oh, you look good. Why? Oh, you just needed to, and your pants are droopy. You look like you're walking around with a polished crap in your pants.
No, I don't have a belt. Like this morning it was tight, and then it's like sort of loosened.
Yeah, jeans do that. And now they're too short. I know that's why they were hanging down your butt, but it still looked like you're walking around with a pile of crap in your pants.
I do have a photo. Who wants to go?
Dude, get out, man. Get out. Just
I saw the shadow.
Get out.
Watching Bird Box.
Go.
Oh my God.
Go. Oh, Lord, help me. Okay.
Okay, back.
So again, we'll talk about overcoming objections. But then some of your overcoming objections will be leading people into your next level down of the coaching program. But that's something that you're going to have to practice into as well. And so what I mean by that is, as you're in the conversation and you really get the indication that coaching is not going to happen for somebody right now, then you can say, well, you know, there is a less expensive alternative that I can provide you with. It's $49.95 a month, and you get some of the same things with the higher level coaching. You just don't get as much of me, direct involvement with me. And we'll go through some of that too, because one of the things that you can do with these Zoom recordings is upload them to YouTube, and YouTube will transcribe them.
What do you mean?
YouTube will write out what it is that we're saying. It'll actually transcribe the video. I do that a lot as I'm doing interviews so that I can pull out quotable stuff from the person that I've interviewed. And YouTube, when you upload the video to YouTube, it goes through its processing. That's one of the things that it processes out, the transcription. And
So
that is,
you can.
so I say that to say that this, and we'll do that. This video that we're recording now will get uploaded to YouTube so that I can give it to you, first of all. And what we'll do is look at the transcription that it does, so that some of the things that I'm talking about now, you'll be able to go through the transcript and actually get the words too. I know you've got your notes there, but like some of the things that I just said, I gave you the script. And you'd be able to use the YouTube transcription and go through, find where it was said, and copy and paste that out, and, you know, put it into your actual script.
Wow. I didn't even know that. Okay.
So that said, I think we processed through the discovery questions, the problem solution where you introduce how it is you can help, the wealth building strategies, and then the coaching. And then we're looking at a leadership curriculum for you. And then you need your 36 people, exposing 36, and let's just say 40 people a week.
Okay.
We'll get you anywhere from 2 to 4 a week. The initial focus is on the membership conversation, building wealth, financial education that helps you to build wealth. And then, and by the way, if you want to do this as a side business, earn $500 to $1,500 a month in extra cash, I can show you how to do that as well. It's more important for you to get these numbers in members.
Okay, I understand.
And then, yes, you can do a lot of it in the networking events. Do you get an email from a guy named Joel?
Yeah, Joel's list. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know Joel personally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know Joel. We go way back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we know each other very well. He used to do a lot of networking when I was in Amway, but he decided that he went to so many of them, he decided that he would start putting them on himself. And yeah, I know Joel, I know him, I know Corey. You know, I know them from the beginning, and since then they have transformed into where they are right now. But yeah, we know each other very well. I speak very highly of him, and he has a side business too, that he uses that as his platform. You know, he does a carpet cleaning service.
Yeah.
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 And I don't go to his, I haven't gone to his as much because he seems to attract the same crowd, but I haven't been to his lately. He's expanded quite a bit. And I need to start plugging into some of his. As a matter of fact, I got his list. I need to go back and look at it. And he has a lot between him and Corey. So that is another place I can look at for networking events, Joel's list.
Yeah, he has mostly chamber stuff, but he does occasionally have a good one-off on the list.
Right.
And his events, they change up too. I kind of like that. They don't seem to always just be a common network. He has a presenter. My goal was to get to one of his meetings, get introduced, and see if there's something that I might be able to plug in and present on. But I haven't been to one of his meetings. And I want to say that it's because of his list that I ended up venturing out to several of the different chamber meetings.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, social media will be doing your, the other thing was meetups.
Yes.
Other meetups are also a source.
Oh, and the thing that we had talked about on my list here was to, we were going to talk about a webinar on Meetup this month. And we were supposed to be looking at a subject. Topic, yeah.
Did you brainstorm any topics? What did you come up with?
Well, the one that I was thinking about was the one on credit, the credit education one that June did. That's one. Another one could be on the simple, real simple one is on budgeting. You know, I could do that. Another one is looking at my econ and talking about wealth generating strategies. But the one that was on my mind was the credit one, but the credit education.
Like the one he just did?
Similar, not quite as detailed as depth, but I got to remember, I have to remember that my meetup group is financial literacy, Duluth Financial Literacy Meetup. So most of the people that are on there are looking for financial literacy. So I'm just wondering if I need to stay in that space, you know, because that's what it's called. That's why they're there.
The answer would be yes, but you can also bring in the leadership development into the conversation. But I think what will get you more interest is in a topic like wealth generating strategies, and then talk a little bit about the top two, or what you consider to be the top two or three. Top two, no more than three. So your webinar would be wealth generating strategies, learn the top two strategies that could change your financial future.
And the thing is, I can talk to Darius to see if he would post it on his meetup. And I talked to Darius today, and we're trying to strategize to get more people at the networking events. So we have another one scheduled the third Wednesday of February. But I can talk to him about this too and see if he'd be willing to post that as something that I'm doing, you know, on his.
So let me ask you this. You're a networking goer, and the networking events that you go to, do the majority of them just, you know, you go in the room and you network and that's all that happens? Is there a program agenda of any sort? And if so, what does that agenda look like?
Most of them is just people there meeting and greeting, like we did at the Nitro Zone.
Okay.
No, they're, you know, that's the you know, that's the main focus. There's one called Network After Work, where that is the main focus, is to come in and network. So people come in there looking to network, asking, what do you do? And telling you what they do, or telling you why they are there, networking. So it's almost like that's the expectation. And that's where I have a lot of success, is because people are asking that question. And right now I'm taking that LED name tag, and I'm getting a lot of, you know, wow, you know, it's a great conversation piece. And so the Network After Work, they have that monthly, and there that's how I met Aaron, the young man that you think you've met him once. He's the gentleman that was the couple that has a young lady, and even how I met him, it was through somebody else that told me I needed to speak to Aaron because Aaron was looking for investments. He said you two will be so, and I would have never met Aaron except this guy connected us, and he was at the Network After Work event, and so that was you know that was a gift, a blessing. But the Network After Work, I normally can get about 10 to 15 names if I stay for the whole thing. Get there early, get there on time, have great results from that. And again, with the neon, LED tag now, I would say at these networking events, I can probably, ramp up double, what I normally get. But as the thing is, keeping the conversation brief.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because your real conversation is the one that's over that virtual cup of coffee.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yes, the webinar and also Legal Shield. I need to talk with, I haven't yet, but I need to talk to, I need to find out from Marinette what's going on with Legal Shield and expand in that also, the meetings that they're having.
Yeah, she said that she would get with her upline. I actually got an email about the next meeting. I didn't get a chance to look at it. I think it came in on Saturday. Mm-hmm. And I told her I would get that piece and then we kind of compare notes and see what the deal is, because one of the other things that occurred to me was her upline may be going to a meeting, but if their meeting only has 30 people in it, that may not be the best use of our time. And instead go to the bigger meeting, like the regional meeting where everybody from the Georgia area actually goes to it. And there could be, a couple hundred people there, but you get to see the composition of who those people are, what some of the people are doing in the business, and they do the business briefing. So you'd actually learn about the business, the same thing that they do in the local meetings where there's 20 or 30 people, maybe even 50 people. The bigger, they called, well, when I was doing them in California, they were called Super Saturdays. Mm-hmm. They were the business briefing at the front end, and then you stayed for the training because you're an associate. Mm-hmm. And during that time, you got to see what all the new incentives were, as well as, how they're currently marketing the business, because it's changed now. Everything is digital. And I seeing who the people are that we could get connected to. Her upline should be at that Saturday thing. Mm-hmm. So I had committed when I talked to her, because she and I, we didn't talk, we texted. And she was saying that she had talked to you about it. And I was like, yeah, I did too. And, I was thinking this, and, if we're a team and, if Al's leading the conversations and, or we're doing something like sponsoring something at an event or something, and, we split the leads, and, she was like, well, I'm open to that. Mm-hmm. And that's what she said, that she would check to see what the meeting schedule was for her small group. And I said I would check the meeting schedule for the larger group, because I am plugged into that. I am getting those emails.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, then I guess on that, I need to kind of let you lead on that and just let me know.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And the other thing was the executive rank, the thing with that, with the board of directors or whatever advisory position, I'm still working on getting my personal information into them, getting it into the system. It seems like it takes a little time to, you have to be in the system, and people's, you can apply, and if your information, your resume is posted, people will come looking for you. And they allow, in my conversation with them, they even have an hourly rate. And they say, oh, with your conversation here, you need to be at $500 an hour. You know, for you, it should be $1,000, you know. But they say sometimes people will come looking for just one session, you know. And so again, as I said, and I don't want to get off here, but with you and what you do with fundraising, you know, I would think that you would get a lot of calls. Now, if they charge you to be in this program, and they charge you a monthly fee. So,
what is the cost? I didn't see that when I looked at the.
well,
I was wondering.
Yeah, they do. Let me see. What do they charge? I wrote it. Let me see. I think it's $300 to. Let's see here. The initial charge was like the setup to get you set up in the system was like $200 plus another. Let's see here. Another $100 or so. So I think the initial charge was $300 or $400, and then after that it's like $100 to $200 a month to be in their system. So the thing is, you got to start working their system to get your name out there. But I'm working on my resume right now to get it, you know, to update it and tweak it a little bit and get that in the system and get my profile information in there, because they were saying that people will come looking for you if you have the right credentials. So, and then you can start posting for companies that are looking for whatever your area of expertise is. So, as I said, with the training that you're doing and the experience that you have, I would see you, you know, being very desirable. As a matter of fact, when I think about it, I don't want you to get to be too desirable. I won't be able to catch up with you, you know.
Thank you, Al. So sweet.
Yeah, you won't have time for me, and I'll be pennies in the bucket, you know. Al, who?
Oh, God.
Is it Al, the CEO of a company? If not, let me have my virtual assistant give him a call and set up a plan.
No way.
But yeah, they, like I say, so anyway, I'm working on that. We can continue to have a weekly conversation on that, just a little update and so forth. The coaching flyer, you saw that. You know, I have that together. The other thing was your virtual assistant.
I spoke to her, and she is totally open to being able to provide you and get you started off with an hour a day, to get her an extra hour on top of what I'm providing her. And I have another client who may be looking at 2 hours. So between us, we're looking at.
Might even be looking at an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to talk to her, but so there's potential for her to be doing very well.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, the thing I was looking at is I have a list of names I need to send. I need to come up with an email campaign of the Marshall's Welcome Wagon clients or homeowners. And so I have probably about 3 or 4 months. So I might have about 100 names, but I need to, I can almost, I can take the time, but I was just mentioning to you on Google, you can export. On Google, they have a spreadsheet. You put all these email names on that spreadsheet, and then you can do a template email and format it where it goes out to each one of those individuals' emails with their first name on it. So maybe at a later time, we could, take a few minutes and put together something on that. Because if that's the case, there's a lot of things we could use her for. If we can figure out how to use that and teach her how to do that, really all we do is have her put the names on the template and then push the button to connect it to the email, and then have some way of monitoring it, a follow-up system.
Yeah, that's going to be the piece. That's where your money is.
To follow up?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
That's where your money's going to be, is in the follow-up. But what we would do is devise a sequence of emails. So the first email would say this, and then the second email would say this. But I would want to look at that too, because if Google's doing that, do they also provide you a way to know who opened the emails, how many people opened it? First of all, how many people you sent it to, how many people opened it, how many people didn't open it. One of the systems.
I would say yes. That's the reason. Yeah, I would say
Okay.
yes, but let's
We'll take some time at some point and actually take a look at that.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
And then I guess just as a sidebar, how are you coming with the Power versus Force book?
Maybe I should have that finished by the next time that we speak, but it's just emphasizing again, the power versus force is used right now. I'm on, they're talking about the different environments in which that works positively and negatively. And so I'll have that done by the next week.
Okay.
Oh, here, hold on one second. Here is the book, and I don't know if you've seen this book before, but
the 12-week year.
12-week year by Brian Morgan and Michael Lennington. And what it says is get more done in 12 weeks than others do in 12 months. And as I mentioned, last week, you almost have that, in a format. And so actually, when I'm thinking about it, you can actually do another version of this ebook and sell it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying that you already.
I'm gonna look that up. Okay.
And then here's another book that I would, and this might be some good stuff, content also, but this is another book, and this is called The Leadership Secrets of Jesus. And this
I have a bunch of Mike Murdock books. I might have that.
Yeah, and there's 36. So my point is that I can actually post this. This is good posting, even on Instagram.
Yep.
Be perfect. And the thing is that what he does is he, let's see here. But I got to look at it again. I did it a while back, but I need to look at it again. But I can just pull out bits and pieces of it and post it.
Yes.
And then make a comment, just like you said. So I can do the spiritual one, but I can also do this also. So I have a lot of stuff.
Intermingle them.
Huh?
Intermingle them.
Is that right?
Yep. Okay. So you've got the Bible verses. Now you've got some real leadership stuff to go with it. And it's still, Mike Murdock is still basing them on Bible. So, I mean, you're still in the same space.
Yeah.
And the leadership secrets of Jesus, I'm like, I want to say I've got that. I have to look in my library because it's something. What year was that written in?
It's old. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let me see here. Copyright 1996.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think I have that. I haven't seen it. It might be in my library downstairs, or maybe even in a box in the basement. But either way, I think by now it might be on Audible as well. And I'd consider adding that to my Audible library in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm. So
Thank
this is,
you.
yeah. Yeah, he has questions. So this is call to action. And just what seeds has God given you to sow into the lives of your staff and associates?
Mm-hmm.
Question.
That's great stuff to bring to your posts.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Okay. But
That
again,
question will be a question that deserves an answer.
yeah. Okay. All right.
Good job. Yeah.
Okay. Well, um, what did you told me anyway? I want to ask you. You told me what you thought about June Collier's webinar. You know,
Well,
and what I was thinking. Oh, go ahead. I'm
about
apologize.
whose webinar?
The credit
Oh,
workshop
uh-huh.
month. But what I was thinking about was reposting that because I saved it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
would that be? And then we were talking about you were talking about how to redo it, and then I was asking you another question about they had some people that had a market. What do you call it?
The thing party on the front end.
Watch party.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so maybe I need to Google that. But I was thinking if I did a watch party to look at that again, I can invite people to it on Facebook to look at it again and be, and like you were saying, be in better control of the people that are coming in to look at it. So what's your thoughts on that?
I would say it is a very, very long video. Do a watch, but he broke it down into how many segments was it? It was like 3 or 4 segments.
Yeah, he wrote it down. He did. He did an extended one because he utilized the opportunity.
Having everybody there, I recognize that, but the reason that I'm mentioning that is because people generally, outside of being there for something like that, they're not going to spend that kind of time with you, even on a watch party while you're there. So pick one of the segments and say, this is the whole video from June's credit thing. Feel free to watch the whole video, but on such and such a day, such and such a time, we're actually going to do a watch party and have a conversation around this part of the video. And I'll be available to take question and answers, and I'll be asking you some questions. So join me for the watch party and focus on that piece. That way you're not keeping people, extended periods of time. You're focused on one subject, and you could actually break that down and have 3 different watch parties versus one and not have a whole lot of conversation because people just aren't there and paying attention.
So just have it on for a certain amount of time and then stop it and then come back on and saying that's it for this segment. This is segment 1 out of whatever. And have actually a table, a list of the things we're going to talk about this time, and then another one this time. So I could break down to a lot of different segments. So okay.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about a lot, but 3 or 4, yeah.
3 or 4,
and every
okay.
time he does one of those, to break it down into 3 or 4 segments and go through that and have the whole video. This week today we're going to focus on section 2. It starts at this time block and ends at this time block. So people will be able to say, okay, that's only 15 minutes of the video or 20 minutes of the video. And because the video was an hour and a half.
Started at 9. He was done in an hour.
Thought it was about 10:30 when we were finishing up.
Well, maybe. I don't know, but I'll.
But either way, you're still talking about 15, 20 minutes versus an hour.
Yeah, right.
15, 20 minutes and focused conversation on that particular topic.
Okay. Well, for the next time that we get together on Monday, I'll have everything in detail.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Right.
I like that. That's a great idea. It's a great lead generator. It's a great thing to do off of your page. You can set up an event for it and invite people.
Yeah.
And do it in a way that actually gets you exposure beyond your actual reach. I mean, you could boost the post for $2 and get to thousands of people.
Okay. Am I correct that if I save that video, I can keep it? It'll stay there if I save it.
Where did you save it?
On Facebook. It says you can save it, and I have it under my save category. So, it's just sitting there.
I don't know. I think you have to save it and download it to save it for an extended period of time.
I'll go back and look. If not, I'll figure something else out.
If not, what you want to do is find out if he put it up on YouTube. And if he didn't, he should be putting those videos up on YouTube, because those are the marketing, those are the exposure videos that help you to bring people in. And then you could grab the YouTube link, and he says in the video, anybody that introduced you to this, go back to them to have the conversation. So you're not shooting yourself in the foot or anything by using the YouTube video. As a matter of fact, for Legal Shield, that's what we ended up doing. And we would share the YouTube videos, but anybody you gave a YouTube video to, you'd also say, hit me back when you finish watching it. And if you're going to do the watch party, there's a way for you to use the YouTube video and bring it into your Facebook page. You can announce it in an event tied to your Facebook page. And I'm actually doing that now with one of my clients.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. Let me have that on my list for next week.
All right, you get the copy done.
Yeah.
And I'll show you how to set up the event and everything.
Okay. Okay.
We'll pick the date.
Yeah.
And you know how to upload a video to YouTube, right? Do you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you know how to
copy and paste it.
No. On your YouTube channel, at the top of the bar, there's a little button that says upload video.
Yes.
You click that, and then you upload it you select the file, and you have to have the file on your computer.
So I have to upload the
you
Facebook.
Have to download it out of Facebook.
Yeah.
So that you can upload it into YouTube.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Download it on my computer.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's just been a while since I've done one. Okay. All right.
All right.
On the sheet here, it says my brightest achievement since our last session was probably the June Collier, the webinar I did. Get some responses from you and from the other gentleman in Legal Shield in Chicago. He said he said that seems like too much work. I'm not interested in that, but I will pass your information on, and you have access to any of my connections and whatever. I did have some conversation with a few other people, but that was probably one of the best accomplishments, achievements last week. Is putting that together. The other was the other was um, the meetup networking event. Regardless of, I think Darius wants to have larger numbers, but I would say that my response, or I need to continue to monetize that also, but I would say that would be another accomplishment that was brightest, the highlight of the week.
Mm-hmm. Okay, main challenge. And congratulations. I think those were great achievements.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I have, again, going back to what I mentioned before, was getting registered, getting new prospects registered, and also, but again, I need to go back to what you're saying, find out, well, let me rephrase it. Getting new people registered. As I mentioned to you, I talked to a gentleman who said, he's vanished, as of this time. I don't know why, but he was one of the people that came to the Nitro Zone, did the meetup networking event, and I've been sending the messages. He said he was going to get registered that evening. He never did. I think what I'm going to do is to from now on, I'm going to personally register people.
I was going to say, one of the things that as a coach, if you were selling a product, I would say is, great. How do you want to do that? Credit card, debit card, bank draft? Let's do that right now. Pull out your phone, get out your laptop,
Okay.
and sign them up right there. And it always, at first, it always shocked me that somebody said, okay, let's do Visa, and you do it, I'll tell you the information. And that works, to not let them go and have it on them to do. And the other thing that's going to provide you with is really getting people to say no if they're really meaning no, or not right now.
Exactly. Right.
Versus disappearing like that.
Okay. The other thing is, I have some downline new people. Again, this is primarily this couple where they're trying to make phone calls to some of their people, and that's not working for them, which and some people, it can be very discouraging and wipe them out. And so what I'm working on is those that have a couple of names, do a conference call with the three of us, but don't let them do it on their own.
That's good. And do you have scripts? Does the company provide you with those initial outreach scripts?
Yeah.
Okay. And I would agree with that. Those first few phone calls, doing it with them, actually even doing it with them, they then have to introduce you, which some people would see as threatening. What I ended up doing for a couple of my downline was making those initial phone calls and say, I'm so-and-so, I'm with so-and-so. I got your name and number from so-and-so. They think very highly of you, and they wanted me to touch base with you to share some information. And then I get into whatever the script is. Same script I used on them, maybe I'm using on this new person, so that they can actually hear what's going on. And it's the script not to sell them something, right? It's a script to ask for the meeting that you can go through the product offering. Because everything should be leading back to the presentation, and letting the presentation work for you versus you having to share that information with somebody outside of the actual presentation. So your script, your first outreach script is going to say, is it possible that I could set up a time with you to go through what it is that we're offering that your friend said that you'd be interested in? Only take about 20 minutes, but I know I caught you off guard right now, just reaching out. So I wanted to find out if we could set an appointment to do that. When would be a good time for you?
Okay.
And you're doing all of this by phone, or, you know, do you prefer WhatsApp or Zoom?
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, what you're saying is peek, pass, and follow up.
Exactly.
Peak interest, pass on a video for them to look at and follow up to see if they're interested, and leave it at that. It's very duplicatable. Very duplicatable.
Very duplicatable, and you can hit the numbers. You can do 10 people like that versus trying to stay on the phone with 10 people and explain anything and all of this. And you doing that initial outreach to make that connection, you know, thanks for the appointment. I'm going to share this video with you to watch in between now and then. It's short. It's only, you know, how short is the video?
It's less than 10 minutes.
Okay. You might say, because 10 minutes is still long. A lot of the videos that are on the front end like that are usually, you know, 4 minutes, 6 minutes.
Yeah, it's probably about, you know, like I said, less than 10. So I would say maybe about 6, 7 minutes.
You may want to narrow it less than 10 to the, it's only, you know, it's less than 6 minutes long. You know, you can do it while you're sitting on the toilet. I mean, you know, you can do it real easily at that amount of time, and then for us to meet. And I actually was successful in having people to get off the phone. I was like, let's take 15 minutes. I'll meet you back on the phone in 15 minutes, give you a chance to watch it and kind of digest it. Even if you watch it twice, you'll have time. I'll meet you back in 15 minutes and we can pick up the conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. So-and-so did tell me something about this, so I'm interested in seeing it. They were very excited about it. I don't know if it's going to help me or not, but I'm willing to take a look at the video and then get back to you.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Thank you. That was good. Okay. Something that I learned through teaching, reading, listening to a tape, watching a video, or living life. Now, again, that was June Collier's Facebook webinar. That was a learning experience. And as you can see, I'm looking to build on that. At the moment, my greatest focus when working on my business, so far as revenue producing activities, more new contacts, networking events, social media, and staying focused on my schedule. So, you know, the thing that you had mentioned, you showed me this daily sheet here, and I'm still working on, I'm working on this to start putting stuff on there on a daily basis. So again, I'm adjusting, or whatever you want to call it, but you know, I'm working on that.
And that's all you can do. Just keep at it.
Yeah. And then new ideas, opportunities, insights, or questions I would like to explore in the next session. We've talked about it, the Facebook webinar, the Meetup webinar, the coaching campaign, and the Instagram campaign. These are things that we've talked about already. The other thing that you gave me that I'm working on, yeah, okay. That, going back to that sheet again, the daily one, the thing that, again, I'm working on is being able to write down the other things, is the goals, the rules of 5, business, business EXP, what's that? Business exposures. So again, I'm still learning how to fill this out. So, so that's something that I'm working on. The other thing that I have done is I put together weekly productivity planner. And I have it broken down into 3 categories. Priority 1 was my econ. I have 2 to 3 new associates, and I wrote down my action plans here, but I need to, after our conversation, I need to maybe readjust this to add some of the things that we've talked about. I have new contacts, networking events. I had 1 per week. I need to maybe change that. Contacts, follow up. And then Saturday, my econ has a training session at 9 o'clock. And my plans are to have some guests, either new associates or guests to that. I have 3 to 5 guests to be at the Saturday event, the training, which is on Chamblee, Dunwoody Road. And then the nonprofit where I do the financial literacy, for this week, I need to send out emails to the high schools. I didn't do it yet. I was trying to focus on the colleges first. And then on the colleges, I have some contacts I need to follow up with. And then I have a presentation tomorrow at it's called Philadelphia College of Medicine. And what they do is it's a college near where I live here that teaches people how to be pharmaceutical reps in sales. So these folks make between $60,000 and $100,000, in their jobs, and they have huge student loan expenses. So anyway, I'm speaking with someone tomorrow in the financial aid department and doing a presentation on budgeting, and so I'm looking to develop a relationship there. That's a priority number 2. And priority number 3 is social media. So far as posts, I have 3 to 5 in a week, videos 3 to 5, new contacts, replying back to the new contacts in a webinar. And then I have people I need to speak to. I have you, I have my mentor and my econ. I have my downline. I have some names of some people there. And I also have Darius on my list with Meetup. So these are people that I need to reach out to today. And except for my upline, I need to give him a call probably for tomorrow or whatever. I'm not really waiting on any people right now. And then new things to do. The main things that came up today as new things to do. I'm taking some notes here, so I need to get this packaged, on these forms. But I'm just saying that for me, this is good. This just kind of keeps me a little bit better organized. And this is something that can be implemented with whoever I bring on board.
Mm-hmm.
It's good training. As I said, I'm learning and, and transitioning as fast as I can. That's all I'll just put in.
And it takes a little bit of time.
Yeah.
This is our second week. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you brought in an awful lot and you're moving things. Mm-hmm. So just stay encouraged that you're moving things in the right direction and you're learning as you're going. You're doing and learning even more.
Mm-hmm. Okay. If I could go back again, I had to write notes here because we are talking about a lot, and I want to stay on track here. But those discovery questions, any way I can get those today, I would greatly appreciate it. And this video, again, if I'm able to get my hands on that, I would greatly appreciate it to be able to go over our conversation and and so forth. What kind of Zoom do you have? Are you paying for the Zoom?
Yes, I am.
Because how much is it? Unlimited?
I've got the webinar version so that I can live stream directly into Facebook or YouTube from some of the stuff that I'm doing. But you can get the pro version, which I think is like $15 a month. And that allows you to do everything, actually accept integrate into Facebook Live and YouTube Live. So you can record, you know, for as long as you want. You can record one person or 100 people.
Yeah, well, I think right now I just need the unlimited version. But again, even then, I need to, you know, I need to plan things out. So I'm still in the planning stage. But okay, yeah. But as I said, if I can get those questions, because I know I'm going to be speaking to someone tonight at 8 o'clock, 8:30. If I can have that, I can get started. Now, if they say they want to sign up, I have a PayPal account, so I just need to give them the PayPal information, and they can go ahead and get registered under the coaching program.
Yes.
Okay.
You still need a coaching form. Some of the, like what I sent you when we got started.
Yeah. Okay. So is it possible? What do you? I got.
Did I send you that stuff Word document or only PDF?
Hold on. It was Word. It was Word.
So you can actually tweak that stuff that I sent you to put Parker International instead of P3 Academy.
Okay, but let's see here. The thing that you what about your symbol there?
So you can, it's like it's an image, so you can just click it and delete it.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Oh, I'll go look at that then, and I'll work on that then.
And then the only thing that you want to do is where I have details about my program, you want to copy this list of details about your program and put it in there.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So let me write down here. Okay. Okay.
All right, and I will get working on the discovery questions right now. The video is going to take time to encode and download.
No problem. No problem with that. It's just questions that I.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing I want to get back with you on is the follow conversations on these two young ladies as to what happens next, and to be able to analyze that. So, you know, that will be something that if I don't, please, you know, but I'm planning to have some good results, you know, good report, you know, as a result of what I'm learning today.
Great. So are you clear on what happens next? I mean, it actually depends on what your conversation is. And again, if you're focused on everything on the front end is bringing somebody in to be a member so that they can take advantage of the education that's being provided there. And then once that's set, then you can say, and you know, I know you know that this has a business component to it. And again, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. You know, learn this stuff. That's really what's going to be of advantage to you. But if you want to learn it, and while you're learning it, have an opportunity to share it and get paid, I can help you do that.
Okay. 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 Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
All righty then. Let me get started. And again, if anything comes up and you need me, you know how to get me.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank you very much for your time. Yeah, I'm just excited and looking forward to continuing to move forward, you know.
Same here. I'm excited for you.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. So, okay. Well, yes, I'll just move forward here and I'll keep you up to date as to, you know, what's going on.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.